Howdy, friends. Wayne with the 5 Minute Music Series. And today we've got a special guest, Payton Howie. She's from Southern California, but I just found out she's actually right here in Montgomery County and starting to use Montgomery County as a base as she goes back and forth to Nashville. Payton, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing fine. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, tell us a little bit about where you're from in Southern California and how you got to Montgomery County.
Well, I was where I was born and raised out there, and the town I'm from in California is kind of a small town. So even though it's California, there's still a lot of fun things to do out there in the wine country. I'd spend a lot of time just kind of like driving around in my truck with my friends sometimes, and that's kind of how I got into country music. My family kind of had this small mom and pop restaurant, and they'd have some live music going on Friday and Saturday nights, and I always just was sitting out there listening to the music, kind of peeking my head around the corner. And that's just kind of where my musical influences came from. A lot of Reba and Hank and Dolly and Loretta Lynn and all the traditional country greats is kind of like what has my heart. And also a little bit of a classic rock influence there. And that's kind of where my sound comes from and my inspiration. And so that's kind of how I grew up. And then just as of recent, my family has decided, to kind of come out to Texas, and there's lots of shows to play out here, and I'm loving it for sure. And then I'm doing a lot of work out in Nashville as well, so I'm kind of going in between.
Well, it says the West Coast Country Music Association named you their New Country Female Entertainer of the Year, and then the Traditional Country Female Entertainer of the Year. And so she's got some credibility behind her, and now she's bringing it all to Montgomery County. You told us a little bit about your background and how your family ran a restaurant, and you would, see artists playing there. But I was very interested in that when you were 5 years old, something very special happened. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So when I was 5, my mom took me to my very first concert, and she literally, being 5, she dressed me up in this cute little pink cowgirl hat and like a little jean mini skirt and boots and everything. And we were in our seats at this outdoor arena, and we kind of got shoved out, just as people were dancing around. And I was dancing around in the aisle, and Carrie Underwood was on stage, and it was during her Some Hearts tour, and the lights were panning across the audience, and one of them stopped on me while I was dancing there, and she tells her bodyguard, "Hey, bring that little girl up on stage." So she brought me up on stage with her, and she was like holding my hand, and we were singing songs, and it was crazy because I can like remember it vividly, and I remember being so stoked. And just as I've gotten older and been in the, the music industry and playing shows and covering her songs, it's just so weird to think like that is honestly, it's a bigger deal to me now than it was back then because I was 5, but oh my gosh. Yeah, that was definitely one of the most pivotal moments I'd say in my life, just looking out into the audience and seeing people all just connecting and like thriving off of music. And it was just such a cool feeling to see how music impacted all these people that didn't even know each other, and how just like one thing can bring all these people together, and it's like a universal language. And
yes, it is.
That's one of the things that kind of inspired me to play music and do what I'm doing.
Since you're going back and forth between Montgomery County and Nashville, there must be a reason. So what have you got planned in Nashville?
So I'm actually leaving in about 2 weeks from now to go and record my EP that's going to be coming out in 2021. I just got back from Nashville a couple weeks ago, finishing up all the writing and kind of, pre-production that we're doing. I'm really, really excited. The 5 songs that are going to be on this EP, just kind of each of them are a piece of my heart. And I'm really excited to be able to show it to the world and kind of introduce myself with this EP. I have a couple singles out, but I'm pretty positive that this project that we're working on is just kind of like a step above the things that like I ever imagined for my career. And I'm really excited for it. I'm just so excited to be able to record something that really is a piece of my heart. Not that the other ones weren't, but just like a collection of songs that each one is a different piece of me. And I just want to be able to share it with everybody and hope they can connect with it.
And I know you support the U.S. military and first responders, and that you go out and perform for them, and that you're going on a USO tour. I think that is just fantastic.
I'm so excited for that. I was invited to be a part of the USO Tour 2023, and I'm like beyond excited because there's a select group of artists that are chosen to go on this tour, and I'm just so excited to get to be one of them and go there and perform for such a great cause and like such an honorable group of people. I'm like beyond excited. So I know it's a little far away, but I'm excited still.
Let's hope that it actually happens, because it's right, 2020, nothing is happening like it's supposed to. So let's hope that
maybe by 2023 everything will be better than ever.
Let's hope so. Tell us a little bit about some of the songs that you've got.
So Catch Flights was the first song that I ever put out, and that one was actually a song that was presented to me by some writers in Nashville, and that was at the time when I was looking to record my first song, my first single. And when this song was presented to me, I was literally fresh out of a relationship with this guy, and it was insane because this song just kind of, I took it on as like my anthem because it said everything that I felt, and it kind of gave me that confidence when I came out of that relationship. This guy was super controlling, right? Like I would be wearing jeans with holes in it. He'd be like, "You have too many holes in your jeans. Like you need to wear something with less holes." Or I'd be performing songs and he'd be like, "That song sounds like it's about another guy. I don't think you should sing that." That kind of guy.
Whoa.
And so when we got out of the relationship, like that song was presented to me by these writers. And I was like, instead of, picking something that I wrote, I was like, I want this to be my debut single because this is literally how I feel in this moment and at this time in my life. My very first song that I had ever written solo was F-150, and that's the second single that I put out.
In my F-150, I ain't gonna shed one more tear. My off-road love song is the engine roaring in my ear. In the driver's seat, 4 wheels is all I need. As long as the dirt keeps flying and boys keep lying, I'll be, baby, in my F-150.
That one I actually put out the beginning of this year in January, which was literally a year ago, which is crazy to think about. That one was probably one of the most personal songs that I'd written at the time of my life. I was 16, and I wrote it around, I would say almost 3 years ago, because it was 3 Christmases ago. And it was kind of during that holiday season, if families are supposed to be together and like having family dinners and spending time together, and just that year, that wasn't exactly the case for my family. And I was kind of at this point where I just wanted to just get out. So I was really late at night, and I got up and I just got in my truck, and I do what I like to do, obviously besides music. And I went out and I just went off-roading. I like tore up a dirt field and was having a good time. And I was sitting in my truck and I was just feeling really low. And I wrote that song in my truck at like 3 a.m. And then that was the second song I put out. And it was crazy because I put it out there, and I was just like, awesome. It was doing good and people were loving it. And then out of nowhere, just a couple months ago, it just hit this spike, and like it just went crazy. And it just recently hit over 100,000 streams on Spotify. So I was super humbled and grateful for that. That was my first song that hit 100,000 streams. And then Troublemaker is the most recent single that I've put out. That one is probably one of my favorite songs that I've written, just because of the dynamics of it. And it kind of has this vibe of like this girl that's sticking her head above the crowd, and she's not afraid to do it. And I kind of just wanted to take that attitude and turn it into like a bit of a love song. And that's where Troublemaker came from. And that's actually the song that I'm going to play for you guys at the end of this interview. But yeah, that's my most recent single, and that one's out there on Spotify as well.
Well, you mentioned family while you were talking about the songs, and we're getting deep into the holiday season. Thanksgiving just got over with, and getting ready for Christmas. You got any big plans for Christmas?
I know that I have family coming into town, and I have a couple of Christmas like shows that I'm doing out here with different performances and church and stuff like that. Like I'm really looking forward to the holiday season. I honestly I think it's so awesome. I'm really grateful to be out here in Texas for the holiday season because, one, I've never experienced a really cold Christmas before. And two, it's just the family environment out here in Texas especially is something that I've really noticed. It's just the family values out here are so strong, and I love it. So I'm really excited to see what the holidays are going to be like out here. All right. So like I was saying before, this song kind of talks about being a troublemaker and being kind of like that person that's different. And that's something that I felt that in my life, I'd always kind of had that, like, if this is the circle, I'm a little bit on the outside, you know, I'm a little bit kind of on the outside sometimes, and not intentionally, it just happens to be that way. And so that's kind of the feeling that inspired the song, and I just wanted to turn it into a bit of a cheeky love song. So this one's called Troublemaker. I got that ripped jean attitude, probably ain't too good for you. Your mama said to stay away from me. But baby, love is blind. Still trying to read my mind. I know you think you can control, but soon you walk the line. Kiss me in the dark and tell me things you never told to no one else. You'll ignore the signs, look into my eyes. I'll tell you things that you didn't know about yourself. Moonshine dancing, sweet romancing, take you all the places that you shouldn't go. I promise I'm no cheater, I'm no liar, but you should know. I got that ripped jean attitude, probably ain't too good for you. Your mama said to stay away from me. But baby, love is blind, so trying to read my mind. I know you think you ain't control, but soon you'll fall in line. I'm a troublemaker, breaking havoc like a hurricane. Oh, I'm a troublemaker, raising hell, that's my middle name. As cute as you are, I finesse your heart, not leave no mess when I tear it apart. You act like you don't care, but I'm fully aware of what I gotta do to make you stop and stare. Moonshine dancing, sweet romancing, take you all the places that you shouldn't go. I promise I'm no cheater, I'm no liar, but you should know. I got that ripped jean attitude, probably ain't too good for you. Your mama said to stay away from me. But baby, love is blind, so trying to read my mind. I know you think you're in control, so don't fall in line. I'm a troublemaker, making havoc like a hurricane. Oh, I'm a troublemaker, raising hell, that's my middle name. Moonshine dancing, sweet romancing, take you all the places that you shouldn't go. I promise I'm no cheater, I'm no liar, but you should know. I got that ripped jean attitude, probably ain't too good for you. Your mama said to stay away from me. Your baby, love is blind, so trying to read my mind. I know you think you ain't control, so don't fall in line. I'm a troublemaker, making havoc like a hurricane. Oh, I'm a troublemaker, raising hell, that's my middle name. Oh, I'm a troublemaker, troublemaker. Oh, I'm a troublemaker.
Payton Howie and Troublemaker. Payton, thanks so much for stopping by the 5-Minute Music Series. We really do appreciate it. Welcome to Texas, and especially welcome into Montgomery County. It's really, really nice that you're right up the road and be able to go see you pretty soon. And like I said, Saturday, December 5th, she's going to be at Margaritaville out on Lake Conroe.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the road. All right.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.